The city of Aurora is seeking help finding the 6 individuals that were involved in desecrating an American flag at the Aurora ICE Detention Facility last week. Immigration advocates said the works of those 6 people distracted from the message of unity and peaceful action that the estimated 2,000 other protesters were trying to bring. David, this certainly isn't the first time that a small group stains the effort of a larger group, regardless of the topic of protesting. But what do you think the larger effect of this incident will be in Denver?
Well, there are 4 countries which made claims to Colorado territory before Colorado became part of the United States. The French Empire, the Spanish Empire, the United States of Mexico, and then the Republic of Texas. And the raising of a flag is an indication of who you think is the proper sovereign, in this case, the Mexico. That is a view that is known as the Reconquista of the American Southwest, taking its name from the original Reconquista when the Christian kingdoms of Spain pushed the Muslim kingdoms out of Iberia. And this group in Aurora is hardly the first pro-illegal alien protesters who have raised Mexican flags and advocated for Reconquista.
Ed, we have desecration of American flag, we have government property, we have free speech. There's a lot of issues here. Take your pick.
You know, first of all, I'm going to go a slightly different direction. I want to give a shout out to the Aurora Chamber of Commerce, which has come under pressure to boot a representative of this private detention facility off their board. I'm glad that they are not giving in to that pressure and letting people's opinions be heard all across the spectrum. That said, it's hard to know exactly where to go here. I mean, people are raising a flag over a detention facility, signaling the country that the people in the detention facility were trying to escape out of. So I don't know what this means, other than, like most of our topics that we discuss now, there is a growing lack of civility in discussing this. I mean, maybe we could be looking should be looking more at the treatment in the detention facility. But incidents like this aren't going to help that. It's just going to drive a wedge in people where they're not going to be willing to listen to the other side. So I don't know where this goes, but I don't think we're going to have a lot more informed compromise coming from this because of this incident.
Megan, did the Denver Post editorial page take a stand on any part of this issue?
We did. We came out critical of those protesters. We thought they took it too far. And this is a difficult subject, right? Because there is a long history of civil disobedience in America to push for changes when our government is doing something wrong. And I do think that our government has got to provide better housing for folks that we are detaining, especially those who are seeking asylum. Those are not criminals. Those are people who are coming to our border looking for help. They are refugees in essence, saying, help us, and we are putting them in detention centers. The conditions have got to be on par, if not better, than refugee camps. And if they can't do it, they need to get the UN in here. If the GEO, Group CEO, cannot provide better conditions for these individuals than a refugee camp, we need to shut them down, have the UN come in and do it. Because that's what we're asking at this point, is safe, humane conditions for these individuals. That said, the protesters did take it too far. They violated a law that was unrelated to what they were protesting, right? They trespassed, they violated personal property. So it's a difficult line to draw, but I think they went too far.
Patty, does this become a bigger issue moving forward in Colorado?
It's a bigger issue around the country. That's one of the problems. You had a protest where there were about 2,000 people, and for the most part, everyone was well behaved. They stayed on message. They're not just talking about the detention facilities down on the border, which are horribly inadequate, but GEO has had some real significant issues with how they are running the facility in Aurora. It's going to be a big deal in the Aurora election. You've got some councils and some council members and some mayoral candidates who are really upset about what's going on with GEO, although you're right. The Chamber of Commerce was right to let the person stay on. This has gone national, though. The only thing you heard about this very, for the most part, well-behaved protest in Colorado, which was one of many protests around the country, is the flag. In fact, this morning on The View, to go completely shallow compared to David. This morning on The View, where John Hickenlooper was interviewed, they asked him, that's all they asked about the protest was the flag, and they showed the photos.